Hey people of VC, it's Andy Cloudy Mulder, and this is part 2 of a British Steel, a series where I'm going to go through my collection of traditional British heavy metal bands, but from the modern era. So all of these bands would have formed either in the last 10 years or after around 2005. Certainly not had too much released until the end of the first decade of this year. If you're wondering where part 1 came from, well, a couple of months ago I did a showcase on this album, this compilation album, British Steel, the rising force of British heavy metal, from Dissonance Productions. This is a black on black vinyl version. I realised at the time that I had picked up or amassed quite a collection of physical releases from just about every band on this album, and I did a whole video showing everything I had from these bands, and I floated the idea of doing a series and show other UK heavy metal bands. That got a good response, but for some reason 2 months has passed and I've only just got around to it now, so better late than never. I'm just going to do a straight kind of A to Z, and I'm going to do this in 3, maybe 4 parts at the most, so it's not too long and I get to blather about these bands rather than just show and rush my way through it. You won't see any of the bands that were on the album because I just don't want to repeat myself. So Amulet and Eliminator. If you want to see what I have from those bands, do check out part 1. If you didn't check out part 1 before, then I'd thoroughly recommend you go and check it out because it was a fantastic video, even if I do say so myself. But bands like Aggressive Perfector, Dungeon, Insurgency and Vuel that were on there, which were more sort of speed thrash metal. I'm not going to show any UK speed thrash metal type bands. We'll do a separate UK thrash metal collection in the future. So check out for that one. But if it's taking me 2 months to get through to part 2 of this one, it may well be a long time in the future, but hopefully not too long. I want to try and knock out these videos on a regular basis and get a series complete rather than hanging on. So without further ado, let's jump in. So the first band I'm going to show you today is Arkham Witch. Now this is a band from West Yorkshire, Keighley to be precise, and they were formed in 2008. Now Arkham Witch are they're a doomed laden epic heavy metal band. At times they're like Judas Priest meets Man of War, but they've got a lot of Sabbathian, I love that word, Sabbathian riffs all the way through it, so it's a real hodgepodge, and there's also some punky elements in here as well. Arkham Witch have fingers in so many different pies. Now this is this was originally released, actually when was this originally released? This is a 2015 release. I don't recall when it was originally released, but this is the vinyl version, and I think originally it may have only had 3 or 4 tracks on, but this is a 7-track EP. It's got a cover of Thor's Thunder on the Tundra, which is very passable, I would say. Hammerstorm, the title track, it's killer. It's very, very Sabbath influenced, epic and heavy and doomy all at the same time. Really, really good. For metal, now that's an interesting. You've got to hear the lyrics for that one. I mean, that's a lot of metal bands write songs about metal, but not so many bands write songs about metal that talk about killing posers. So what have we got here? Smack him in the face, kick him in the head, they're a disgrace, punch them till they're dead. You downloaders, you shit talkers, you fucking posers will never stop for metal. But it goes that way. But the thing about it is, it's a very cheesy song. but it's one of those ones that gets in your head and you will be singing it for days after. There's a picture of the band there. I've got a couple of other releases by them which I didn't pull, but I'm going to do that now. It's just right here on CD. My bad, totally. I thought I was prepared, but we go on the fly. So Arkham Witch, where are we? Okay, so yeah, so what I've got here is, I mentioned there was a punky element to them as well. This is Arkham Witch Weird Tales. And this is not metal at all. This is more. This is more. This is closer to the Ramones than it is to this the Sabbathian riffs of Hammerstorm. It's a bit kind of surf punk. It's a strange project. Now I went in on big when I heard Arkham Witch on Bandcamp. I just bought a bundle of their stuff because it was cheap to get postage. So I was very surprised when I heard this one. It's a good listen, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're a metalhead and that's what you want to hear. This is a good release though. This is just on a like a CDR, and it's demos from the deep, and as you'd expect, it is demos from their past. This was originally released in 2009, but this is a 2014 reissue with a couple of extra tracks on it. But this is really good. This is more your doom-laden epic heavy metal. But Arkham Witch, check them out on Bandcamp. You might like them, and why not? Next band, I showed these guys very recently. It's a recent pickup. This is Ascalon and Reflections. Now Ascalon are from Preston in Lancashire, and they were formed in 2012. It's straight up machine gun riffing, dual guitar attack. You know, the guitarists are playing off each other and trying to sound like they're like doing each other, but great solos, awesome vocals. This has grown on me every single time I play it. I mean, if you like your traditional metal mixed with sort of a bit of power metal and a bit of speed metal, then do check out Ascalon. I'm really now this is 2016, and I would love to hear an album from these guys. This is just a 5-track EP. Recently showed it. So traditional heavy metal done properly, and I will say that quite a few times here because I'm a big fan of these UK metal bands. This is Ascalon and Reflections. Next up is an oldie. So this band was originally formed in 1993, but they didn't release their first album until 2009, which is why I'm including them in here. But it was 2013's Knuckle Duster that introduced me to the band, and this is of course a Zonville and Knuckle Duster 2013 I mentioned. So these guys are from Harrogate in Yorkshire, England. Their original lineup was they tragically lost the singer and bass player. But I think it was I read that it was his nephew picked it up. Now these guys are they look and sound like Motorhead. I mean, even the look of the band has there's a lot of Motorhead going on here. Right down to the singer looking like, or dressing and looking like Lemmy, and the guitarist having a touch of the Fast Eddie Clark's around him. That's a Bad Omen Records orange vinyl. Songs on here to check out: Cash Whore, Knuckle Duster, the title track, of course, and Trash Talker. All cool stuff, but straight up machine gun riffing, Motorhead infused full on. Now they have released another album since, which I didn't actually get around to checking out. I did see them live in around 2017, I think it was, and they were just bare bones. They came on stage, they had no merch, nothing at all, and it was a bit disappointing really, but they came on, they played, and they pretty much left. It's a good show, but it would have been good for them to have a little bit of merch with them and to keep us punters interested, but yes, Azonville. I don't know how to pronounce this band. It's either Culture or Culture, and it always annoys me when bands come up with a name. I'm sure it's very clever, but if you can't pronounce it, you're not going to get as good publicity. So the hype sticker tells us Culture, I'm going with Culture, Under the Influence, sounds like some unearthed relic from the original new wave of British heavy metal with their dark and mysterious riffs and pivotal rock and roll thrust. This release came with a download code and a postcard. This was a Bandcamp purchase for me as well. It's a 5-track EP. Now, this band is from London now, and they formed, get this, they formed in 2019. Let that sink in. They formed in 2019, and they have a record out on Dying Victims Productions already. I think they're an absolutely cracking band. This is a killer debut EP. Again, need to hear more from these guys. Lambs to the Slaughter, My Plague Doctor, Crimson Killer. I mean, every single one of these tracks well worth checking out if you haven't already. Culture from London, 2020, Under the Influence. Next up, Scotland for this one, from Glasgow. This is Farseer and their album Fall Before the Dawn, which came out in 2016. I've seen these guys live 2 or 3 times now, and they put on a great show. I believe they're in the studio around now, or there's talk about them putting out another album, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with. As for the sound, it's kind of classic European power metal, not the over melodic European power metal that is sort of very popular at this moment in time. Dave Bissett's vocals absolutely spot on. He's got really powerful set of pipes and really what's the word I'm looking for? Really complements the music perfectly. Strong but melodic. Luck of the Joker and Nightmares Collide. Check out Nightmares Collide. Absolutely fantastic song. So Farseer, Scottish power metal at its best. Right, so now we're going to go back to England. We're going to go to Liverpool. We're going to go to a band called Forlorn Hope that were formed in 2017. These guys sing all sorts of songs about battles. This is their debut EP. I think it's the debut EP, 2018, called just the Forlorn Hope EP. I think it's just 3 tracks. Rifles, Talavera and Vive l'Empereur. Check out the song Talavera, that is my absolute favourite. Just notice there's a note in here. I bought this on Bandcamp, so I've got a nice little note from the band. I think I picked up one of these as VCLT for somebody, but I noticed that they'd re-released it and they put out a exactly the same CD. And another note from the band. So same CD but different cover. Again, the same 3 songs. But Rifles and Talavera, really, really good, memorable songs. In 2019, they released their debut full-length album called Over the Hills. And again, this is... every single song is historic, epic. I think it's very, very difficult to tell a really good story in a song sometimes, because if you want to get the story across, it's going to be very, very wordy. But they do it really, really well. They do a great job. I mean, there's a lot of lyrics in here, and there's a lot of story, but it doesn't sound like it's overloaded at all. It's done in a really, really good way. Now, those 3 songs are the first 3 songs after the intro. The 3 songs, sorry, from the EP. Viva Emperor, Rifles, and Talavera are on here, but it's a really decent debut album from these. And again, I think they're working on a second album right now. So, Forlorn Hope, worth checking out if you like your metal epic and your battles historic, and your lyrics historic and epic as well. Last band we're going to do for today is another power metal band, this time from Worcester in England, and they're called Fury, and that's who we've been listening to so far. We've been listening to the debut EP from Fury, self-titled Fury. I discovered this band when I saw them live. They were headlining, they came to Edinburgh, and it was just one of those ones where who's playing Bannerman's Fury, listened online, and I went to check them out, and they were absolutely superb. Really, really good live show. Every song off here is absolutely fantastic. Really, really worth checking out if you can find this. Now, I think this is quite difficult to find now. It's a CDR release. They're not on any label. Every album seems to be self-released. I don't know whether that's a lifestyle choice or whether they just haven't had that break yet. In 2014, so that EP was 2011. In 2014, they released The Lightning Dream. This is an absolutely fantastic album. So the one nice thing for me about this series is I'm going back and listening to some stuff that I've not listened to in a number of years, and this was one that I enjoyed the most out of all these that I'm showing today. Only criticism is it is very long. It's got a lot of songs. The Lightning Dream, actually, the last track is over 11 minutes long, and at one point you're thinking, well, you know, I'm ready for this song to finish now. I've enjoyed it. The singer ends the lyrics, ends the singer, and it's clearly the end of the lyrics, but then the song goes on for another 2 minutes as they close it out, and it just takes a little bit long. But Warrior's Prayer, Prince of Darkness, Out Beyond the Skies, fantastic stuff. So this is an album that is well worth checking out and would be a fantastic addition to anyone else's collection. They followed it up in 2016 with Lost in Space. The 2 main guys that have been in the band throughout, I got them to sign it when I saw them. It's very sci-fi oriented, a touch of the Somewhere in Time about the back cover there, I fear. Again, I think a self-released album, but really, really nicely done. Songs on here to check out: title song, Lost in Space, Valhalla, and the Battle of Shadows Veil. Really, really great band. If you only check out one band from the ones I've shown, you're a fool. Check them all out, but maybe check these out first, because I think they are absolutely fantastic. They do have an album after this, which I just haven't got around to picking up yet. I probably will make more of an effort to do that now. I've had a bit of a Fury day today. But there we go. That's the second instalment of British Steel. I'll be back again soon and show some more from my collection. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you know any of these bands, or if you have any particular favourite British metal bands that I may well have missed, or you think I should be showing in a future episode. Let me know in the comments below, and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.